Welcome to Cultivate Communications' latest podcast series, 7 Steps to Accelerate Sales. Your hosts, Ethan Vandehay and Bob Wendt, will take you inside the 7 critical steps you can take to fast-track your revenue growth. You'll learn a proven marketing process that will take your sales to new heights. Today, they'll be examining the 5th step, where you'll learn how to clearly define your unique value proposition and how to use it in all of your sales and marketing efforts. Here are Ethan Vandehay and Bob Wendt.
Hello everybody, I'm Ethan Vandehay. Alongside me I have Bob Wendt about Cultivate Communications Marketing Framework. We're diving into the 5th episode here, which is Validate the Unique Value Proposition. In the marketing terms, we call this UVP, so very fun and exciting here. And this is about defining your UVP. So Bob, why don't you tell us a little bit about the story behind a value proposition?
So again, developing a unique value prop is critical because, you really have to, as a marketer, tell your story about what your product or service is capable of doing, right? You're building kind of the perception that you want people to have and galvanize really the value that your company or your products can bring. So absence of that, you're allowing your customers to kind of build that story, or worst off, your competitors, and they're not necessarily going to tell the kind of story that you want. So taking the steps to develop a unique value prop really is an exercise that's absolutely critical so that you can make sure that you're going into the marketplace telling the story you want, building the perception that you want, and that you're doing it consistently along all the touch points that any customer that you have across any customer interactions, whether that's sales interactions, customer service interactions, or really how that thing translates into your marketing messaging and how you're telling the story about your company.
Yeah, and I just want to put a big emphasis on this. I think it's a huge critical step that we're diving in today, and it's a big episode in episode 5 here. And this is about influencing the way the people think and the way people feel about you. And Bob, when we're talking about a unique value proposition, what is the way to develop one, right? Mm-hmm. Do you just come out of this aha moment, or what's the way to do it?
So the operative word is unique, right? I mean, it's not, you're just not talking about the features that you deliver or some of the basic things that your company or your product can do, but you're really kind of pulling it back to really, develop, a statement or position about what you're unique with. So it takes work, right? You need to do some research. You need to kind of really understand the market and how your product fits, right? You need to really look at, what other people are saying about their product. Are you in a world of sameness where you're kind of expressing how you're capable of doing the same as everybody else? Or can you really honestly differentiate yourselves by, how you present yourselves from a value statement or, again, this idea of how you want people to perceive you. So analyzing the competitors is really a critical step. Understanding your customer needs, right? I mean, that's where that client feedback, that sales rep feedback is all super important, right? A lot of times value props are created internally, right? And a lot of times, when we work with clients, it's like, oh, it's great. I appreciate that that's what you believe your product or service can do, but let's go ask some customers. And the customers are the ones that are really going to tell you honestly how they feel about you, how they feel about their your competitive alternatives, and they'll actually use words that you can kind of fold in, to your sales and marketing efforts in order to really galvanize this unique value prop. So once you've got it worked out, it's got to be very clear. It's got to be very succinct. The worksheet will kind of help you go through these steps so that you can develop a statement that can be, again, brought into sales presentations, put into social media, used in sales collateral, all the touch points should anchor that unique value prop, that thing that you do, that you believe, and that you validated through some interactions in research and customer feedback that really kind of helps your product stand out from your competitors.
Yeah, and it sounds like, this is going to take some time and some energy and effort. This isn't just something you whip up in, a couple minutes or hours here. So once you kind of complete the process, how does a value prop get used?
So again, we talked about the different things that you need to kind of fold it into. A lot of people think a unique value prop is a one and done proposition, but as you roll it out into the marketplace, as you fold it into your branding, as you use it in sales presentations or you put it up on the website, you need to understand what's resonating. So what's really fun with some of our customers is starting off with doing the work, getting the client feedback, and then rolling out a value prop, and then just kind of seeing what happens with regards to how people react to it. And the salespeople will be the first ones to tell you that, hey, that really hit it. That statement about, or that proof that our product or service can do this really resonated with people. And as you learn that, you need to build on that and keep folding that into your brand story.
Yeah. In your experience, building and helping other organizations put together unique value propositions, what's like the biggest, key or hint in these steps that you released that a lot of people should really pay attention to?
Mm-hmm. So again, it's really the client feedback that's absolutely critical. But it's really, being honest about, is your product really different? Can your product or service really deliver on what it's intended to do? And if you're confident in that and you can go into market with that, you're going to have a much greater opportunity to really anchor your position, anchor your value prop. And that's the premise, again, one of the premises for really accelerating your sales growth. So again, value props are super important. We're going to talk in our next video about how to kind of use that messaging and its importance in its role in developing targeted campaigns.
Absolutely. So download our unique value proposition checklist and start creating a UVP today that'll have a memorable impact.
Great.
You've just finished watching Step 5 of the 7 Steps to Accelerate Sales podcast with your hosts, Ethan Vandehey and Bob Wendt. Next on deck is Step 6, how to target and execute successful marketing campaigns that drive revenue growth. Remember, you can download all of the worksheets for the entire series and watch other step videos as they're available at 7stepstoaccelerateSales.com.